therefore turn to two big questions from here, which are to be answered more by academics and psephologists. My second question is Bihar going to be a battle of freebies versus tall promises? That's question number 2. And linked to that is question number 3. Is Bihar a battle of who wins the Mahila and Yuva vote? Once upon a time, MY was seen as Muslim and Yadav. Is it now seen as Mahila or women and Yuva or youth? Manisha Priyam, we've listened to the politicians talking about seat sharing. That's only one aspect. Now the campaign begins. Is this campaign about the various promises that are being made? You've got Tejashwi promising 1 job per family, which comes to 2.7 crore jobs. I don't know where they'll come from. But you've got the NDA, which has put 10,000 rupees in the pockets of women per family. Now we don't know how that will affect budgets and whether there will be an audit of that money. How do you see it? Is this election about changing Bihar or simply providing freebies at election time, Manisha Priyam?
So, Rajdeep, kindly permit me to answer the freebie question first, but do permit me a small comment on the seat sharing as I end. On the freebies, as far as the woman vote is concerned, remember, Nitish Kumar did entrench a solid vote block for himself from amongst the women of the poor and downtrodden families through a slew of measures. And these were not freebies, these were deep and developmental. These measures included giving the girl child the cycles to go to schools, Bihar roads built by Nitish transformed with girl childs, given school uniforms. And you could see rural areas, the entrenched mindset that was anti-girls going to school and going for education was transformed by this visual beyond measure. But that same Bihar, which invested so much, there were reservations for women, etc. Look at the number of tickets given to women. And as much as I have heard the history of politics through Honorable Sri K.C. Tyagi ji, both the socialists and the two socialist formations under Karpuri ji, and now the NDA need to answer whether a Renu Devi as Deputy Chief Minister was simply representational and not very different from a Rabdi Devi who was also representational. So women in top leadership are not allowed up. Be at
they are offering 30%, 13% seats to women. Ma'am, in the list so far, 13%, 13% seats to women is what the NDA is offering.
Top leadership does not go to women, number one. Second, about the Yuva voter, nearly 30% of the population is youth. And I am sorry to say that despite all the education revolution, 62% of those who are finishing their schools and about to go to colleges actually have nowhere to go to and resort to private coaching and tuition. So it is a state where the youth are simply out on the streets. The real picture is the coaching and the gully, and any amount of saying that this is our neta and that is our leader, I don't think the issue is that of hamare neta sirf yahi hai. Parivarvad will become equal to no leadership change if we don't answer the youth question. Tejaswi is offering jobs, but you rightly pointed out from where all these youth in Khansar, Rahman Guru, all of them are offering the youth saying, Daroga ban jaiye, ticket collector ban jaiye, and you have to see the gullies to understand it is a situation where as if lotteries are being sold. Samrat Ashok, the emperor, is reincarnated in the gully as teaching mathematics for 500 rupees. Sampurn Ganit padha denge. Now I want to conclude by saying that the poor youth stand, hang around in the urban gullies and run from 5 in the morning preparing for bhartis for government jobs. However, what we see is really a disappointment in terms of what we've seen. The two alliances, the Mahagathbandhan even more than the NDA.
Okay.
Look at the fact that forget other things in North Bihar, even in Ghosi, where there is a CPIML sitting MLA, the RJD wants to have its own candidate. What can explain this? So it's not about just Mukesh Saini and the posturing and the midnight dramas. On the side of the JDU, the issues about the JDU issuing symbols to places where Chirag Paswan is fighting. Now Hanumanji is going to fight the socialist chehra of the BJP. That's the tamasha that Biharis are about to see. So therefore, I believe that this election is about highly localized
I've taken your,
but
Manisha, I've heard you.
Gathbandhans, not even political parties failing to reach the poor. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying, in a sense, you're seeing a hyper-localized election. Everyone wants to be a neta, everyone wants a ticket, which explains the confusion. But you made good points on Mahila and Yuva and how they seem to be completely, in a way, they are talked about at election time, but the representation isn't there. Yashwant Deshmukh, you are the one who's been also talking about how the Yuva and the Mahila are going to be key. Are you sticking to that? That if there are two demographics that will decide this Bihar election, it's that 49-50% Mahila vote and it is the Yuva vote. Bihar has the largest demographic below 25 in the country in terms of voters. Are these the two key demographics, particularly with all the freebies and promises being made to attract women and youth?
Sometimes I feel like we do a great disservice to Bihar by looking at the Bihar politics only through the caste and religion prism. While we all know for sure that there are so many states, even in South, there's much progress and richer South, the southern states of Tamil Nadu, which are much more caste-driven in their politics rather than just aiming Bihar. I have been trying to follow at least the emerging blocks which are kind of caste, voting beyond the caste and religious arithmetics. And certainly the new MY combination seems promising in that way for different reasons, maybe. As Manisha ji just said that, and I totally agree with every line that Manisha has said, that, female voters' connection with Nitish Kumar is altogether different level. And yes, the sarkari naukri matters. The naukri matters, sarkari naukri definitely matters a lot. So no matter how impractical the promise may be, there would be traction for youth, among the youth for that announcement of Tejashwi. So it is going to be the youth and Mahila equation, no doubt. Yes, the baseline of the Bihar politics will remain into caste, but sometimes people say it's all about arithmetic, Rajdeep. Sometimes people say it's all about chemistry. Largely, Bihar is more about arithmetic. We have seen in the last 15 years more than in that way. But chemistry plays its own role.
Right.
You might find it out of sync, but yeah, I mean, sometimes, okay, let me try to explain it with an F1 racing team. It's not just the car. You need a good driver, good champion driver, and you need definitely a very good team in the pit stop to run this thing. Now, everybody knows what is their role in that F1 thing. As far as NDA is concerned, I consider BJP as the one which has the car, the organization. And Nitish Kumar is the seasoned F1 driver. They need that driver. They cannot drive the car, Rajdeep, on their own because BJP does not have the driver. That's the bottom line. And JDU doesn't have the car, BJP doesn't have the driver. That's it. Now, if they can manage their pit stop staff, in place, otherwise it's troublesome.